So you got to pull this down to start it, and you're going, and as soon as you take off, I'm still pulling the trigger on the handle. I let go of that, and the shears actually stop.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Brian here, Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Trust you guys are doing well. Filming on location today. Super excited about this. We have a video here sponsored by Cress. We're actually down here in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina, and we're going to be showing you guys a little bit more about the product line, the platform. We're learning all things battery, a lot of education today, and I'm hoping to bring as much back to you guys that I can. No hard sell here. Nobody's here to give you guys a pitch. They brought us down just to provide some education, make some content, share the good news with you guys. And frankly, it's actually really cool stuff. Let me show you guys where I'm at right now. I will walk outside of the trailer and show you guys what's going on. It's quite a bit. So inside the enclosed trailer, AV team. Are you flying the drone? It's flying the drone. We got the enclosed trailer that's all powered by the Cress battery platform. B&B Lawn Care is over here. We got some other great Instagram and YouTube guys, people making content. Stations popping around over here. Over here, I think we got hedge trimmers. Looks like we got push mowers. It's a Brian's Lawn Maintenance video. There's jets flying, because it's always jets flying in my videos, or train horns. Not hedge trimmers, pole saws, trimmers, and then we've got leaf blowers, and we got B&B Lawn Care. the folks, he just can't get out of the videos. He loves getting that free shout out. Hey, really quick, because I'm always the salesman, I'm always selling and convincing everybody that everything's the next best thing. What's your assessment so far? Just for some context, we came off of about 2 hours of just education and Q&A. Yeah. And I say this with like all humility and like honestly too, I might not get invited back because I ask 200 questions and some pretty pointed questions and some hardball questions. Like, dude, show me the numbers, show me the math.
But the truth is, I mean, honestly, you need somebody like that because, you know, people that work for the company aren't ever going to say that, right? So
sure, somebody
needs to ask the questions that you asked. The
awkward questions, the tough questions.
And I'm sitting there like, man, I can't believe he's saying this, but it's true, and it only helps the people that are buying the products. It only helps the company. You know, you got to press these things, you got to test these things, and verify that, hey, the ROI is, you know, whatever they come up with.
Folks, we see your guys' comments in the YouTube videos, I mean, and on Instagram. We've been doing this for a minute. You guys have been watching for a minute. I mean, you've been making videos for 10 years. I've been making videos for 7 or 8 years. And we're never here to sell or convince you guys out of any brand when we make content, hey, you need to go buy this. It's just showcasing it, highlighting it, and hopefully reporting back to you guys.
I will say though, they are doing, they have a different approach, which I like.
Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I always hear and the thing I think about is like, just like you said out in the real world where we're cutting 30 lawns a day, 2-3-man crew, that's it. We're not in California, we don't have these crazy scenarios. It's like, is this gonna work for us? 2 trimmers, 2 blowers, and mowers.
Yep.
And their solution, I think, with the Cyber Tank is pretty cool, but again, it comes back to like, what's the real ROI gonna be? You know what? I don't know exactly what we spend on gas per day.
Right.
But we need to find these numbers and make sure, hey, you know, in 2 years, you're still gonna have this life in the battery, right? If a battery dies in 2 years and the ROI is 2 years, it's pointless.
Yeah,
you know?
I love what you said about like intermittent use or specific use. You know, we all have the story of like some battery brand saying, well, you can pick up your mower and go inside the courtyard at your HOA or your
in the nursing home. Love the noise.
Yeah, in the nursing home, and I'm like, I get that, and these guys are not saying that. They're like, no, we're talking in the field use, putting it through the ringer. I'm gonna go show you guys all these stations here, and I'm sure we'll go get, you know, a little bit messy, a little bit dirty. We look too clean as it is, but I see your guys' comments, and I'm right there with you. Like, I want to report back, like, real-world testing and real-world financial. Like, is this a viable opportunity? I am really excited about that. Here's the big thing I'll say is there's equipment brands that are adopting battery, and then this happens to be a battery technology company that's making outdoor power equipment. Paul Jameson's freaking me out right here. Co-figure, Green Industry Podcast. How you doing, Paul?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. You having a good trip?
Yeah, this is awesome. Cress is the real deal.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. What's your thoughts so far? Just again, everybody always thinks we're selling or convincing or it's a pony show. But what's your honest thoughts so far?
Yeah, I think the technology behind the battery definitely is feasible. It is a big investment, but I definitely think the battery's good. So
cool.
I support Cress.
There you go. Green Industry Podcast.
Yes, sir. Green Industry Podcast.
All right, keep it going, man.
Thank you.
So that's what we want to do. Go ahead.
Something I didn't know, which I thought was pretty impressive, I literally didn't know it until an hour ago, is that they developed the battery technology for 10 years before they ever went to market.
Right.
And I think that speaks highly of, like, they didn't just, hey, announce we were making push mowers and a hedge trimmer and a blower, we'll figure it out. From there, they actually invented a new type of lithium ion battery or something and patented that technology to make you have a 8-minute charge time. That's why you don't hear about it anywhere else.
And that's why you don't see me talking a ton about battery on our channel, even though if we want to do extra content or sponsored content, folks, there's an opportunity there. And frankly, a lot of you guys have seen the content that we have with brands in the past, and you just got to call a spade a spade. That's what we're doing on my content. Like, it just doesn't hold up. It's not holding up. And I don't care who you're going to try to sell or convince. It's just, I don't know, like, I get canceled for saying the truth nowadays, and I always joke in here, I'm like, you guys want some feedback? They're like, we love feedback. I'm like me not be invited back here next year feedback? They're like, and the joke, but it's the truth. So anyway, I am really excited about putting this stuff to the ringer, putting it to the test. We've talked way too much. Let's go check out some of this stuff. You want to go hang out with?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go check it out. Looking good, brother.
I don't want to mangle this whole little tree. Not a whole lot to trim on it.
Oh, that looks great. How does it feel?
Really good. I really like how it, the handle rotates.
Yeah.
You get that actual kind of good angle on it. Nice little double safety feature. So
Yep.
well balanced, not too heavy, so pretty good. That's
All
what
right,
we needed.
so Martin was just using this thing, they got Jeremiah. So what makes you excited about this, Jeremiah?
All right, so look, 3 years ago I was trimming. We've always run pole trimmers. I decided to switch to a handheld.
Yep.
First day using it out on the job, first bush, I go one-handed because the repetition of going to grab the pole, I stuck my hand out to grab the pole, stuck my hand straight in the hedge trimmer, cut just about all these 3 fingers off. Luckily I got them back on, but I said from that day on, I said, why has no one created a safety handle that when you release your hand from this handle, the thing stops? Crest has done that. We're gonna show you here. So you gotta pull this down to start it, and you're going, and as soon as you take off, I'm still pulling the trigger on the handle. I let go of that, and the shears actually stop. My fingers would still be on with no $500,000 surgery if this would have been in my hands 3 years ago.
Is that wild?
Huge, guys.
That's huge.
Wild.
Hold on, Martin was just saying, tell me again what.
Oh,
By the way, you're famous on Instagram. Anybody doesn't know you on our content yet. I didn't know that last night. I thought he was worth the company.
all good, all good.
Nova Scotia though. Oh, by the way, you said 3 flights to get here?
3 flights.
Have you
and a
been-
4-hour drive to get to the airport.
Jeez, oh Pete. Have you even slept yet?
Last night for a few hours. So.
Jeez, oh Pete.
But no, I have this one here. You can run it on the actual backpack. It makes it way lighter.
That's cool.
So then, like, if you pick up that one versus this one, it kind of balances out a whole lot easier as well. So
cool.
Still has like the double rotation, all that stuff. But
how does that plug in there? Let me see that. If you don't know, is it just like a?
So it's all the same. They were just going over that. So it's all the same battery connection point for it. So that will run on any of the tools that the regular battery pack will slide into.
It's just an adapter, basically.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
There you go.
Take all the weight off your hands and
Right.
put it on your back instead.
All right, we'll be here. Checking out the Crest push mowers. There you go.
Who's just cutting higher? Mine or
Jeremiah, yours has to go down like
mine's higher?
2 inches, bro. Yeah. Yours is cutting at like 5 inches. Blake's either needs to come up an inch or yours got to go down an inch. How do you adjust it on the push mower?
What are you on?
Little caster thing.
You on 2? Oh yeah, Blake's freaking, holy crap.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's probably good. You got a little rake to it. All right, we'll do.
Well, you lead the way. I'll follow you.
Hey, come over left 5 feet.
I just want to make like double white stripes, dude. Just follow me on the path. You know?
All right, all right.
Exact one or one
No,
over?
one over.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Jeez, oh Pete. It cuts pretty decent. That's awesome. That's awesome, brother.
Mutilated.
Mutilated. What do you think? What do you think?
What a pile of power for that.
Wow.
That's awesome. Super light, balanced, and just tore that thing to shreds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Mowing some tall grass with that bad boy.
Oh yeah. Even like when you flip it, if you had to put like a decent edge back on something, you'd be able to do that no problem, because that just cut through that bale of hay.
It didn't bog down at all.
No, like I was jamming it in the side of it. I might need to use one of their leaf blowers now to clean off a little, but
together that make our cyber tanks, okay? We call it a tank because it's about 320 pounds, right? It's meant to stay on your trailer, and it's to be your DC to DC charger, all right? When you do need to charge this, then you plug this in. It draws 1800 watts, so it's 15 amps, okay? So it takes anywhere between 3 to 4 hours to charge, like we talked about before, all right? So on the top of it, like we said, this is also 4G, so when you're connected to it, you're able to see the charging status of this battery and the number of cycles, as well as the batteries that are on the cyber tank itself.
Is that with the app?
With the app.
Okay.
Okay, with utilizing the app, all right? On the top of this, the LCD screen, it shows you the charging status of not only the tank, but each of the 3 ports. So you know exactly it's going to take 11 minutes, 12 minutes, 8 minutes to charge each of those batteries, depending on what the charge status is. All right? 11 amp hours and 4 amp hours go here, only 4 amp hour on the side. All right? This is the emergency stop button that we talked about before. All right? So if something were going wrong, you have the emergency stop button to shut it down completely. In some instances, if something's going wrong, that will pop on its own. Again, it's a secondary protocol from a safety standpoint.
What is it, twist and it pops out?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. All right. So the other part we were talking about on the inside was what else can the cyber tank do? So when we move over, underneath of that 3rd slot, the 4 amp hour slot, there is a door on the bottom of it. When you open that door, there's actually a circuit breaker, right? So the circuit breaker allows you to flip the power on and off as needed, but there's also 2 ports in there. One port is a solar charger port. That's actually where the warming kit plugs into that we talked about earlier inside, right? So that warming kit that goes on the bottom of this to keep it warm in colder temperatures is where that plugs into. There's also another port in there for the 4G antenna for the communication for like an enclosed trailer like this. Everything's built into here for charging everything and connecting to your app to stay in constant communication with this. Okay. Now later, if we want to, we'll. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but either here we'll try and get another one. You can see what the top of it looks like. So when you put a battery in, you'll see the charging status. It'll tell you the amount of time it takes for that to charge. All right. But the only way to know how many cycles you have is to use the app.
Okay.
Right? That's the only way you know if you're at 1,500 cycles, 2,000 cycles, or 3,000 cycles in each of the batteries. The app will give you that information. Any questions?
So can you run through the batteries again?
Absolutely.
For folks that weren't privy to the presentation portion of this? You got the 8. They on average take 12 minutes to charge?
Yes. So when you look at it, we have the KAC 800, which is the 4 amp hour battery,
okay,
and the KAC 810, which is the 11 amp hour. Both are cyber pack batteries. When you put these into the cyber tank, on average they take, normal charge time is about 12 minutes.
Okay.
Flash charge is 8 minutes, all right? Only port 1 will do flash charge. When I have 2 batteries in slot 1 or slot 2, port 1 or port 2, they will charge sequentially. I'm sorry, that will charge at the same time, and then the third one will charge after these two are done. All right? So at any point in time, I can take two 11 amp hour batteries and charge two 11 amp hour batteries in essentially 12 minutes. Right? And then a 4 amp hour will be an additional 12 minutes. If I wanted an 11 amp hour or a 4 amp hour done in 8 minutes, because 12 minutes wasn't fast enough, then I just put it in port 1 and hit flash charge, and it'll charge in 8 minutes.
Wow. And again, the claim to fame here is that you can never use it faster than you can recharge it.
Correct.
That's the idea.
Yeah. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, so the biggest thing here is when you're looking at it, in any cordless platform, the blower is the one that uses the most energy, right? In our particular unit, in our KC500, which is our backpack blower, it's 35 newtons, it's 900 CFM at the top end. That at 1500, it's 15 minutes of runtime, right? Just holding the trigger wide open at 900 CFM. But I can charge this battery in 8 minutes or in 12. So I'm never out of energy when I'm using the CyberTank or the CyberPack batteries for the toughest application.
Off of the mower and put it on the mapping cart. So this thing just twists, pulls right off. There's a little door here that we'll have to flip back. Josh has already been kind enough to do that. This thing goes on and clips. And what Josh is going to do is power on the mapping cart, and we are going to look for eventually 3 green lights. Then let's just map out a sub area real quick.
Watch out.
And now the app is accepting it. You can now see the map that we just mapped.
No, man.
Well, I just got you robotic yesterday.
Let it hit you. Do it. You won't.
Inside the app, guys, you have optical avoidance. You can turn it on or off.
Manny Petty.
Not going to hurt you at all. It will not hurt you at all. It can bump into you. You can see it barely touched me. Right? There's a distance that it's set to. It's actually a little further forward.
Blake, are the robo mowers taking over, bro?
Dude, it's cool. It's really cool.
I've never seen a grown man this giddy in my life.
This handle, tall grass. I will tell y'all this time and time again. The worst thing in the world we do is call this a lawnmower. This is a lawn maintainer. You are going to need to put a final cut and get it down to a maintenance height. So for example, if this will cut at 3.5 inches and you want to cut cool season fescue at 3.5 inches, that's great. I need you to cut it down to at least 4 inches and then turn the machine loose. If you're going to be cutting warm season Bermuda, I need you to get it down to 1.5 inches or 1.1, depending on if you got a fairway kit on it or our bigger machines, it'll get down to 1.2 inches, right? You need to get it to the level that you want it maintained, and then it will maintain that for as long as you want it to. But this is not a bush hog, okay? This is a precision maintenance machine. But the problem is the industry has called it a mower, right? And this is not a lawn mower, this is a lawn maintainer.
All right, guys, well, we are back here in beautiful Michigan. Just got to say a big shout out and thank you to the Crest team for hosting us down there in Charlotte. It was absolutely beautiful, and it was so much fun getting to test out and try all the equipment. One thing I wanted to mention is that the Crest folks were actually really cool. They were pitching and catching with us. I was actually given some challenging questions, to be honest with you guys. I was talking about price. I was talking about cost of ownership, making the initial investment, actual performance. Are we using this for niche scenarios or can we run this stuff wide open? And the team was actually really cool. They were really receptive. We were pitching and catching, having great conversation. It was really cool to see them really feel proud and confident about their product line. One thing I did challenge them, vice versa, was they have this 10-day challenge that I'm hoping we can get access to with one of their equipment trailers that is completely outfitted with all the Crest product. And so you guys can have access to that exact same demo. Just go to the website, fill out a submission form. I'm sure somebody will get back with you. And they say, you know, proof is in the pudding, right? So if you guys want to check it out, you can do that 10-day challenge. You can do that 10-day demo. And I'm hoping to get one of those trailers up here in a couple weeks or a couple months once the spring rush actually starts up here in Michigan, and do the exact same demo and show you guys what it's like in real world use. That was one of the questions that I had. In real world use, how does this stuff keep up? And the Crest team answered all of our questions. They gave us tons of data, tons of information to back up everything that they were trying to educate us on. And I'm really excited about that. That's actually shows a lot of transparency with a company like Crest. So hopefully in the next couple weeks or months, we can do that trailer demo. Leave me some comments down below if you guys would like to see that. I think that'd actually be pretty cool to go mow our 25, 30 plus lawns a day, our 8 or 10 large commercial sites, and actually see how the equipment handles, how the equipment keeps up, how the battery charges last, how the cyber tank works. I think there's just a lot there that I'm looking forward to putting through the test and putting through the ringer. So hopefully we can bring that content to you guys. Oh, and quick side note, by the way, we have a podcast that just dropped with Lee Withers. He was the gentleman in the white shirt that's in charge of robotics. We just did a podcast with him talking about the whole Crest line, and we actually really got into some more numbers and Q&A on that podcast. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description. You guys can check that out as well. All right, that's what I got for you guys today. Over and out. We'll look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.